Hello there, boys and girls. This is Mr. Lerma. I hope you're all doing well. Today I want to introduce to you zentangles. I know we did a little bit in the school year, but not very long. So zentangles, what does that mean? What's the objective of this week's lesson? Zentangles, pretty much the way I know them, or the way I see them, they're considered doodles. Just a fancy word for shapes and designs repeated over and over again. So what is the what? What are we going to learn on zentangle? Again, as I talked to you before, we're learning line balance, line control, line direction. All of those combined build motor skill development. And keep in mind that all these lessons, I make sure that I take into consideration first grade all the way up to fifth grade, and at the same time different grade levels. So let's get started. I want to start off with a simple design this week, and as we progress on the lesson, I'll keep adding more intricate designs. And again, this is a warm-up. From this point forward, your assignments will be graded. Each assignment is 10 points. You will have 2 lessons a week, and those 2 lessons will be graded 10 points each. I'm noticing that some students are turning in assignments, but there's others who are submitting but not uploading the image of the project. So make sure when you are uploading a project that you make an effort to upload the image so I can see it. So let's begin. On this week, we're going to start with a simple zentangle design. And zentangle designs, like I said, they're doodles, but pretty much they're simple patterns that are being repeated over and over again. So let's start off just by making a couple dots all over the page. It doesn't matter where, just make them wherever you feel comfortable or you like them. I think I'll do that. And I'm making 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's begin by just making a little simple flower, nothing fancy. And again, these designs are made to assist all grade levels all the way up to 1st through 5th. A parent had asked me if their student can make the projects, and I said sure they can. They have the ability to make all the projects that I create for the students. It's just a matter of putting a little bit of effort, and I do take into consideration that everybody has different grade level abilities. But at the same time, I've seen 1st graders that are drawing at the 3rd grade level. I do know that Mr. Norton, some of the students are good students and when it comes to drawing art. Alright, so from this point forward, what I'm going to do is pretty much just make little lines, and we're just making bigger leaves or little half balloons, if you I don't know what you might call them, but if you notice, I'm just repeating the same shape over and over again, nothing fancy. And then we continue doing this throughout the whole design. And it doesn't matter how you're making, this is your design. And as we progress, I suggest that you begin looking for, maybe if you have markers, colored pencils laying around, start bringing them out, start making your collection, because for this week and probably in the next few weeks, we're going to spend in our time working on black and white projects. Now, what I don't want you to do is go around the image. You want to work each one in between, and then now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go in between the flower. But the goal is to start at this point here and end at this point here. That's the key. You just keep adding little bit letters, and you want to balance it out. So if you notice, I'm kind of getting out of balance, so I want to come to this side here and keep going. And again, this is the same design being repeated over and over again. There's no magic trick. It's just a matter of letting your imagination grow and be a little bit creative. Now, why do I always keep on teaching you line control design projects? The reason why we do this is because I'm building your motor skill development. At the same time, it allows you to concentrate, focus. All of these combined build your cognitive skills, your thinking skills. And sometimes you find yourself that you go into like this little trance where you're just relaxing and your mind is just taking over and drawing any direction that you like. Your mind begins to rest and you go into like a trance of relaxation. Now I know that I'm not trying to make artists out of you, but I am trying to give you an experience when it comes to art. Now if you notice, it's looking almost like a flower, and we'll continue doing this until we feel that the design, it's balanced. Remember I talked to you about balance with your lines. Getting close. I think I'm going to do a little bit more here just to kind of balance it out. And then do one here. And I'm going to stop there. Okay, now we're going to go to this one, and I'm going to make them different sizes, not just all one size. If you have, or if you want to take advantage of the time, I know you're very busy now that we started the online school, and now you're going to have your normal day with your day teacher, but keep in mind that your art lessons are just as important as everything that's going around you. And again, listen to your parents. You know, your parents know best. They know what's best for you. They know what works for you because they are older and wiser. All right, so I think this one I'm gonna leave it, just do a little bit more. Now, this one didn't come out too good as this one because I was talking too much and not concentrating on my drawing. So on this one, I just want you to pay attention to my lines. This way you realize the design of what I'm making. And I think I'm gonna make probably 3 to 4 lessons a week, depending on the work that's being turned in. And don't be afraid to ask me questions. Thank you to those students who send me questions about projects. Thank you to those students who upload their projects. And as a reminder, this is our first official project being graded. If you're having a hard time uploading an image or taking a picture of your project, send me an email. Let me know that you attempted it and you have finished it. I'm hoping that we can go to school, back to school soon, and just save your projects. And then when we return to school, I'll get a chance to see all your work. Okay, looking good. I like the way this one's coming. One thing that's going to happen, your hand's going to begin to get tired, your fingers, and that's because you're pressing too hard. And I'm actually feeling my fingers being tired, and because I just noticed and caught myself realizing that I'm pressing too hard. So you have to make sure that you just kind of relax, let the pen do the work. You're just guiding the pen, and create that image. Now, I'm always being asked, well, Mr. Lerma, you know, I don't plan on being an artist. You know, I just like drawing, but I don't see it in my future. That's okay, because what's gonna happen, the art's gonna help you be creative in other areas. All right, it's a little bit sketchy. This is the better one. let me see if I can kind of get back on track and not lose sight of what I'm supposed to be doing, because I don't think I'm doing a good job of showing you. There we go. There we go. All right, so then I'm going to go this side. What I'm doing, I'm making my lines too small, so I got to go big, almost like water droplets. There we go. This one's coming out a little bit better. All right, now if you notice, this one's kind of looking a little bit squirrely looking. Squirrely means crooked, I guess, but you're starting to get the picture of the project. There we go. Now here. All right, not bad. Now, what's the purpose of this exercise, this project, this zentangle, the repeated lines? It's teaching you line control, line balance, motor skill development. It's making you think of where you're going to place the lines. And you know when something looks out of place, you know when something looks off balance, and it's up to you to make an effort to make things balance. And if you notice, I'm not using any pencil, I'm using just my pen. So I have to work with my mistakes. One thing that I keep on telling you all, always and always, try to work with your mistakes, correct them, learn from them, improve of them. And as you're doing that, you learn to accept that it's okay to make mistakes. We all make mistakes. Even I make mistakes. All right, not bad. Let me do a little bit here. This one's a little bit crooked, so let's try it on this side. Let's see what we're going with this. All right. And again, if I'm going too fast, slow down the video, replay it, stop it, take your time. But the most important thing is have a little bit of fun. I think we're so concerned of making perfect things that we forget to enjoy the imperfections on our projects. I have a lot of projects that I made that I didn't like them when I made them, but then down the road I look at them and they turned out to be better than I expected. So keep that in mind when you're working on your projects. So not bad. I think I'm gonna leave it on that right there the way it is. All right, we'll just make one more. And what is this? What does this look like? You know, well, it just looks like a bunch of lines that have created some flower patterns almost, if you look at them. And depending on how you do this, you can take a design any direction that you like, as long as you allow yourself to be creative. This one I'm gonna try a little bit more. All right, this way. All right, and then here. Like that. Not bad. If you notice, I'm going a little bit faster just to kind of speed up. I forget that I'm under a time crunch when I'm making these projects, because it's so hard to upload a video on YouTube with the equipment that I have. It takes a long time. So hopefully down the road I can get better equipment from our technician guys to help me out, improve the process. All right, so from here, what do we do? Okay, so let's make some flowers. I think that's pretty acceptable. You know, just make your lines. You know, let your creativity go. You know, it's your project. Don't be afraid to make anything or whatever you want to do. And you want to give it that slant. You know, you don't want to make your line straight down and look too stiff. So give it that curve. You know, let that curve take your project. Allow it to flow. Well, that one was way too far open. So, and this allows the project to look a little bit more realistic. All right, so let's switch Sharpies. I think I'm gonna switch to this one, the other one. Make sure it looks better. There we go, much better. You can actually see it. Some pens work for certain things, other pens work for other things, so you just gotta know which ones you need to pick. And again, this is a project that all grade levels can make. It's just a matter of you taking your time. We're just repeating one simple line over and over again. And what do we need? The petals, right? The petals can be anywhere that you like. Make a couple flowers there, like that. Anywhere that you like. You know, you can make them straight if you want, or let's say if you just want to make a couple lines and then make a leaf like this, you can do that. You know, it's your project. You can make it any way you want. It's real simple designs, nothing fancy. I was thinking of starting 2-point perspective, but I thought since we have officially began our online teaching this week, that I begin with some warm-up exercises, and as we progress, I'll start again. I'll do a 1-point perspective and then jump into the 2-point to go from there. Now, not bad. This one kind of looks a little bit funky with the big stem, but we'll make it work. I know what I can do. Just to kind of make that a little bit better, I'm gonna make the petals a little bit bigger. Any direction. Balance it out so it doesn't look so small. And I can't really turn the paper over. I think that's the hardest thing for me, because if I move the paper, it's going to get out of the camera. This looks a little bit more balanced. Now from here you can begin adding a little bit of shading. Here's a tip. You know, I'm going to show you just one sample. I expect this idea or this project to be done more likely by Friday. I am going to provide 2 lessons, so you have 2 assignments per week, since I get to have you for 30 minutes in art every week, twice a week. That's a total of hours. So you can do something like this. Let's color this a little bit faster. It's a little bit too slow. And this just kind of changes the perspective of the flower. You know, makes it a little bit more realistic. Not bad. I like it. You know, I was thinking today, what can I start? But I think it was because a parent had asked me, you know, is my child supposed to do the lesson that is being presented, or is there lessons specifically to a grade level? And that was a very good question, you know, but I think we have very smart kids in our school that can actually do any type of art. And again, I do take the grade level into consideration when I make my projects, so everybody can excel and be creative. But at the end of the day, it comes down to putting the effort, to putting that time in, to be creative. And there you have it. That's an example of the flower. I will do the rest of them, but I think I'm going to leave them, and we'll probably continue this lesson, part of it, next session. If you want, you can even add a little bit of texture just for making some quick lines. And you're not limited to what I create. It's pretty much up to your creativity. This pretty much helps your cognitive skills, your thinking skills, especially when you're working with math. All right, so there you have the idea of a project for today's lesson. Pass it on to your friends that this lesson also is being presented in Spanish for those students that don't speak Spanish, because we do have several students in our school that don't speak Spanish, and I think they can benefit from these lessons. All right, so real quick design, nothing fancy. I would like to see your project similar, finish all of them like this, and then we will continue with this lesson on Thursday. Now, what do we add to this? What's missing again? What do I always say? Your signature, right? Your signature is very important. Don't remember, so make sure you put your name on your projects at all time, and this way everybody knows who made it. Okay, so that's your lesson of the day. Thank you, and have a good day.